Hello, I'm James Harvey, the professor of music theory at the College of Southern Nevada with 5-Minute Music Theory. In this video, before we cover any other types of cadences, I wanted to make sure that it's clear what constitutes a cadential situation. And in order to do this, I'm going to write down a chord progression like this. Tonic, leading tone 6, tonic 6, and then from here, let's just go straight to a dominant and a tonic. I'm going to do this in 4/4 time because rhythm actually does have some to do with this. And I don't like that bar line. Okay. So I'm going to write these all with half notes. The last chord is going to be a whole note. So we're going C major. I'm going to do my bass line first, D, E, and then we'll go G, back to C. So there's our bass line for this progression. So we have the tonic, which flows through that leading tone 6 up to the tonic 6, dominant tonic at the end. And then I'm going to write a soprano line to match this bass line, C, and then we'll maybe, we can't go up to a D, so let's go down to a B there, and be careful here. I'm going to put a little asterisk for me to remember not to double my leading tone there. And then I'll come back up to a C here, and we have G, B, D, so I'll go to a B, which is the tendency tone as a leading tone, has to resolve to 1. And now let's fill in some inner voices. I know I'm going quickly through this, but I want to write all these down and explain why one thing is a cadence and why another one's not. Now the next chord is a leading tone 6, which is a B diminished. We have B, D, we need an F somewhere, which works here. Now I can't double the B because that is the leading tone, so I can double the D, which would be our bass doubling, or we can do our, let's see, inner voice doubling is going to be a little bit nasty here, so I think I'm going to redo this, and I'm going to double the bass, which then allows us to do this. That's a much stronger doubling than how I had it in the alto previously. Now we're going to a C major. We want to try for a soprano doubling, which we can actually get away with like this, which leaves us with a G. And then we're going to a G major triad. I'm going to double my G here, G, B, D. And then we have common tone, try to keep common tones common. And there we go. Pretty well voiced little chord progression here. So there's two moments here that look like they could potentially be cadences to the untrained eye. I guess a slightly trained eye, I should say. So here looks like it could potentially be a leading tone 6 to a tonic 6, which is a leading tone IAC. The reason this is not an IAC is this is not a moment of rest. If you figure here and we think about the melody, I'm just going to play the melody, the soprano line. We have, and there's our moment of rest at the end. So our phrase is ba-da-da-dum-bum, and it settles on that C, sort of like the period at the end of a sentence. That second chord in no way is a moment of rest. It's just something that's in between two tonic chords. So the only cadence that's happening here is at the end, and it's an authentic cadence because it's a dominant to tonic, specifically the functions, not, or the chords, not just the functions. They're both in root position, and the first scale degree is taking place in the soprano. Therefore, this is a PAC. And that's the only cadence that's happening here because there's only one phrase. And a really great way of just figuring out the phrases, we as humans just are very intuitive about phrasing. And if you sing it to yourself, you'll hear where the phrases are more often than not. So like you can tell the ba-da-dum is not a phrase when we have it all in a row. It's not terribly interesting, but we can hear that that phrase ends with the long note at the end. So it's sort of slightly accented because that note is longer than everything else. That's otherwise known as an agogic accent, by the way, when it's accented not by volume, but by it just being different than everything else. So again, we just have one cadence here, which is a PAC at the end. Now in the next few videos, we're going to cover the next few types of cadences. Thank you.